Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Gunny Sweats back with another video. Um, I finally took some time in the practice range to figure out these settings I was talking about. The FOV of the center gap. So I want to get right into it because this is a big deal for the console players. Not really so much as PC. PC has more settings than we do, have more control. But for the console players, Xbox and PlayStation. I'm gonna show you something that I found out that so far it seems to be accurate. I mean, if I'm wrong, please leave any type of comments. I am in a Discord where we're trying to figure this stuff out for console only. But yeah, let's get into it. So when you go to your combat and you change your heroes or whatever, but for right now I'm gonna leave it on all heroes, as you can see. Uh, a guy by the name of Daniel ZH also found out this right here, your character movement input did zone. The character movement max input did zone, you actually do want a tad bit higher. Now, you probably will ask why. He has a video. If I can link it, then I'll link it in the description. What this does right here is actually helps with tracking moving targets. Okay, so let's say Punisher, right? For Punisher, he's hit scan, Namor, etc., etc. Hit scan characters, right? When a target is moving, it keeps up with how you move. So a person that strafes, if you're a person that strafes like a lot, like you don't really stand in place and just shoot. You strafe like this and you try to shoot. That is what this sensitivity is good for. So if you turn this up, it keeps it on target as you strafe. So I'm moving left and right, but it keeps it on target. That's what that does. But if you turn this down, which I have it at 15 right now, right? I'm gonna turn it all the way down to 0. You'll see my aim go off just a little bit. See how it went off right there? You saw that? Now I'm not on target as much when I strafe left and right. When I go back to 15, did I reload? Okay, I did. I'm strafing left and right, but it's staying on target. If I go over here to one of these moving targets, oh, okay, well, I jumped a little bit too far. If I jump over here, these targets right here, see how I'm strafing and it's staying on the target? That's what that sensitivity is good for. Now let's turn it back down to 0 so you can see. Like now I'm trying to force it to get on target. I'm trying to force it to get on target instead of it just snapping onto the target. 15 happened to be my sweet spot, by the way. So everybody needs to test that out for themselves. I'm also using control freaks, and I also have control freak precision rings on my controller. So 15 happened to be my sweet spot. It might not be everybody's sweet spot. See that right there? I'm strafing left and right, but I can stay on the target with like minimal effort. Like I still have to do my part. I still have to aim. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like I'm staying on target much more easier. Now getting in to the FOV. Center gap is the FOV of marbles. So if you don't know what FOV is, it stands for field of view. And it's down here. This is the center gap. Now my Punisher, I'm running a 5 on my center gap because obviously he's hit scan. So once again, set the gap between the reticle frame and the reticle dot. The bigger the gap, the larger the reticle. Okay. So for the people that don't understand that, I'm going to make this as simple as possible. When you set the gap between the reticle frame, think of the reticle frame as a square. Think of it, actually, you know what? Think of it like this. The reticle frame is going to be your window size. The window size. That's what that is. So, for a melee character, where's it at? Your center gap or your FOV for a melee character would want to be a tad bit higher. So let's say for my Wolverine, I play Wolverine.
Heads up, hostiles.
I have it on a 5, right? Now, if I change my FOV to a wider field of view, which the way to open this is to change these two settings. So all I would have to do is to change this to 5, your crosshair radius to 5, your circle radius to 5. It's really annoying tapping this in. And it opens up, right? Then let's say I want my center gap or my FOV to be wider because you know you're a melee character. I want to see everything on the screen. I might want to hit everything on the screen.
Hostiles up
Let's
front.
turn it up to 60. And let's go into Wolverine. My screen backed up. I don't know if you guys saw it, but my screen backed up. Like this 20 wasn't there on my Punisher. But anyway, when I go to a target, I have a wider view of hitting a target. But as a melee character for like Wolverine, I actually don't want it that far out. I don't want it that far out. I want it more tight in because I'm melee. So I'm up close. So we're gonna go back. And we're gonna turn it down. Back to what, 5? And then I had it on 1660. Oh, too far. Oh, too far. I want it more closer. You want your FOV to be closer for a melee character. So basically, the further out your center gap is, the looser your assist will be. Because this bleeds in to all of your other settings that you might pre-have. Like for my Star-Lord, it's different. So I put this on a 19. So that, once again, like as you guys, like I just said at the beginning of the video, this is for basically strafing. Star-Lord has really fast movement. You know, from the jumping, hang on here, switch over here to Star-Lord. From the jumping, flying, this and this, it's a lot more faster, and when you're in a game, it's a lot more intense. So 19 was my sweet spot, but for the rest of my characters, it happened to be 15. And when I go down to his center gap, I put his center gap at a 12, 22, 14. So now, when I'm moving left and right, I can stay on a target. And to be honest, I could probably make my center gap a little bit tighter. If I really wanted it to really stick, I could probably make the center gap at least, if I'm at a 12, I could probably knock it up to about 15. Actually, you know what? Let's do it for you guys since we're already here. So like I said, crosshair radius needs to go back down to 12. So I'm at 2214, right? We're going to unlock the center gap. 12, then it's a circle. So I need to go to crosshairs, go to circle, put it at 12, and I'm going to knock it up to 15. And let's see the difference. Then I'm going to go back, 2214, which I probably should leave it at that, but whatever. Crosshair, Put it at a 22. And let's see how it plays out. Automatically it's locking right in. Just from like a little simple change, just like that. So that center gap is gonna be like your FOV. The higher it is, the tighter it is. The lower it is, the looser it is. Or the wider, I don't know what you want to call it. But, I mean, the higher it is, the tighter. If that makes sense. But, I really wanted to share that with you guys. Obviously, like I said, this does bleed into your window size, your aim assist strength, your aim assist ease in is going to bleed into your horizontal, your vertical. So if you change a lot of these settings, you're going to have to sit there in the practice range, figure out what feels more comfortable to you. Once again, I'm on Control Freaks with precision rings, and I have Control Freaks on my controller. I am on PS5. Just giving you my settings, and then you plug it into your PS5 or your Xbox, it might not work for you because it might be too fast or it's too slow. You have to figure out what's best for you. But this right here plays a very big part in a lot of things. On my Venom, once again I said the higher it is, the tighter. On my Venom, I have it at 0 because I don't want it tight. Venom has tentacles. He has tentacles, right? So I don't want it too tight because then I can't hit multiple characters. It would just be focused on one. So I want it as wide as possible. So when I'm hitting somebody, I can turn and hit somebody else at the same time. It's not too tight, but it's still tight enough to where I can still hit. So for him, if I had a choice, this keeps up with moving targets, right? So if I wanted Venom to keep up with a moving target with a center gap of 0, I would probably move Venom to like a 17, maybe 18. And let's see on a moving target. Something to just keep it on point. Because targets are moving, right? So you're really trying to keep it balanced. Maybe even a little bit more. I actually could probably move that up a little bit more just watching it myself. 21. So a center gap of 0. Yeah, it's keeping it on point now at 21. Because I'm strafing left and right as Venom. Because you're constantly moving. You're constantly moving. If you're playing Venom the correct way, you're always in the middle of the mix. You're always causing distractions. You're moving. You got to hit multiple targets. So yeah. And I have that center gap at 0, the radius at 10, and the circle at 75. Which now thinking about it, I could probably lower it, but that's for another test that I don't have time for, and I know this is taking up a lot of your time. But I do want to let you guys know, once again, character movement max input deadzone is for tracking targets. If you strafe a lot and you move a lot, this is what that is for. Your center gap is going to be your FOV. The higher it is, the tighter. The lower it is, the looser, or the wider. So set the gap between the reticle frame and the reticle dot. The bigger the gap, the larger the reticle. So once again, the higher this is, the larger of your FOV. It's going to make it tighter. So for me, I wanted it loose. I dropped it to 0. Characters like I think I even did no. You know what? I think I even did Jeff like that. I think I put Jeff at a 2015 to track targets, and then center gap is at 100. Now, why would you say why is this center gap at 100? Well, Jeff is a healing bot. So the larger my reticle, the more I can heal. The bigger my FOV, look at that, it just widened up my screen. The bigger I can heal. I can heal like this, and it's touching everybody. Also off of shots. So if somebody's out here, gives me more room to see. So yeah, I really wanted to come through with that. Any questions, anything you have to say, please leave it in the comments. I love you guys. Gunny Sweats coming through with another video for you guys. Take care. If not, subscribe. Love.